Hi everyone, this is Tulsi Kumar, and it gives me immense pride to announce that T Series Stageworks Academy, in association with My Dream Entertainment, has brought to you a unique platform for all the budding singers in the USA. Y'all will be able to showcase your talent in front of the Bollywood fraternity. Can't wait to hear all you talented people in the USA.
It's an honor for me to host today's orientation program led by T-Series Stagework Academy associated with My Dream Entertainment. These two entities have joined together and brought up a unique platform, Singing Superstar. This online workshop by a top-notch professional artist followed by online competition, and they do have exciting offers for the winners.
So the purpose of organizing this orientation program is the same, Rashmi ji and Janak ji, so that students can know about, in a better manner, about this workshop and this competition Singing Superstar.
Our dean is there and his introduction has already been given, Mr. Sanjay Vidyarthi ji. He is an inspiration for all of us and a guiding force, which keeps motivating all of us to create something new, to give something new, to innovate something new.
How can you improve your murkis, your khatkas, higher range, lower range? These are the very important aspects of the music. So I will try my best.
तो आप इस वर्कशॉप के थ्रू आपको एक एंडोर्समेंट मिलेगी, तो कहीं भी जाएंगे जब आप बोलेंगे कि यू आर ट्रेन्ड फ्रॉम टी सीरीज स्टेज वर्क एकेडमी, तो लोग आपको एक अलग तरह से देखेंगे बिकॉज आपके साथ एक ब्रांड है।
समझें, अपने आत्मा को समझें कि आप किस जेनर में जाना, किस स्टाइल ऑफ सिंगिंग को आप करना चाहते हैं। मतलब आपको ख्याल गाना है या आपको ठुमरी गाना है या फिर आप गजल गाना चाहते हो, तो एक टाइम में आपको ये चीजें समझना चाहिए कि आपको कौन सी चीज आप गाओगे। वही झपकना, वही जादू तेरे।
लाखों लोगों में किसी एक बच्चे को भगवान संगीत देता है, वो वोकल आपको दिया है, इसका मतलब आप वैसे ही सौभाग्यशाली हैं।
आओ 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 बलमा, तरस बिन मोरा जिया घबराए। आओ 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 बलमा।
Key thing is to learn to adapt those things, the good things, but then present it in your own way.
आपकी responsibility आपका 100% देना। उसके बाद just keep trying, keep focusing and keep working on your task.
माइक के साथ माइक में रियाज कीजिए, माइक में गाते रहिए। वो एक टाइम के बाद आपको खुद पता चलेगा कि बहुत इम्प्रूवमेंट आएगी।
अगर आप अभी भी कवर्स निकाल रहे हो अपने यूट्यूब या इंस्टाग्राम चैनल्स पे जो भी है, तो आप सिलेक्ट करके निकालना कि आप सिर्फ फोक कवर्स मत निकालो अगर आपको उधर नहीं जाना है।
आई थिंक रियलिटी शोज एक ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म है जो सिर्फ एक प्लेटफॉर्म है। यू कांट होप फ्रॉम अ रियलिटी शो दैट इज गोना मेक इट, गोना ब्रेक यू, मेक यू। इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट।
बहुत अच्छा लगता है आप लोग मेहनत कर रहे हो और ऐसे रैकेट लेबल के साथ जुड़े हो जो आई थिंक मेरे को बनाने वाले टी सीरीज।
Namaste, and welcome to Meri Kahani with Rishi and Kunjita. Last week, Kunjita and I began our journey on this show over here, with the aim that over the next several weeks, we're going to meet couples from across the world. We're going to get to know about them as individuals, them as a couple, learn a little bit about them and about their journey. What makes them different? What makes them unique? And what makes them click like any other couple in the world? Simple si baat hai. Main alag hu, Kunjita alag hai. And as a couple, we're different from everybody else. And last week, we had the opportunity to meet with Gunjan and Rajesh, our first couple. And they had the courage to share their story with the rest of the world. And their story is different from everybody else.
And I actually had a lot of fun. It was really nice to get to know them, to understand them, to kind of learn their journey. I mean, we're newlyweds, and so any tips and tricks that people teach us and share with us about their marriages that they've been together for decades, it really helps us as individuals as well. And I hope it helps you guys too. So we had a lot of fun. So if you're wanting to share your love story with us, join us and share your experience, your journey, because we would love to hear it. And I'm sure everybody else will too. So in order to share your story, register at www.mydreamtvusa.com, and don't be shy. Come sit with us and share your love story with us.
Yeah, so let's meet our guests for today, Sandy and Krish.
Hi, Sandy. Hi, Krish. How are you?
Hi, Kunjita. Hi, Rishi. We are so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having us.
We're so excited as well. We're excited to hear about your guys' love story, your journey. I mean, there's just so many questions we have. We're super excited.
Awesome.
So now that we've introduced our couples, if you want to go ahead and take a moment and share with us your journey, your experience together, how you guys met, and share with us something unique about you guys.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I am Sandy Banerjee, and this is
Krish.
And we have been married for 14 years now. We have our 14th marriage anniversary next week, actually. And we have known each other for like 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we met during our undergrad class. We did our engineering together in Sikkim, India. And we met then, I think the first day of college, we met each other.
Yeah.
We started, I think, our journey towards friendship, and then, changed. And then...
You said you guys got married 14 years ago, but you guys have known each other for 19 years.
20
years.
20 years. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. And but you met each other in undergrad in Sikkim.
Correct. Yes.
Yes, we went to University of
Sikkim Manipal University. It's in the northeast of India. So we went there as part of the undergrad program. We are both engineers by education, and then things changed, and then we were a couple at one point. We don't know when, maybe.
Yeah, who's counting? And then we did our undergrad, then we got our jobs and decided to get married. And here we are, 14 years.
But that's crazy, though. So if I have it right, you guys met at Manipal University in Sikkim?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So you might as well say the next part.
So actually, we met in Manipal, but we were in the med school and the international program that they had in Manipal as well. In Karnataka. Yeah. We were there for about 1.5 years, and that's how we got to know each other, and that's how we met.
Yeah, that was back in 2009.
Yep.
Wow. It's a small world, right?
It is.
It is, yeah. No, I still can't believe it. When I think back at it, in 2009, I was coming from California. She was coming from Florida. And fall 2009, we met at Manipal University. And I never thought I'd be there, And if I think back at it, I never had a chance to complete medical school. But if I think about, what was the biggest thing that came out of my experience in Manipal, I met you,
Yep.
And, it's like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie, Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And there's that, I think there's that actor, Jeff Goldblum. He has this kind of like iconic line in there, life finds a way.
Yep.
And I felt like, if I had to describe, how we met, I mean, life found a way. I didn't complete medical school, and I guess I won't be able to live that one down. But I mean, it was a great experience. So.
Yeah.
Nice to hear that. That's awesome.
How long were you guys in Manipal?
We had our 4 years undergrad course, so yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And so you guys, you said you were both engineering students?
Yes. Yeah, we did our bachelor's, in engineering, and later our master's. But that was when we had our kids. So when we had our firstborn, when she was a newborn, I did my master's, and when our second one was a newborn, he did his master's. So we have been studying together too.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So when you guys met in Sikkim, so like this is a question for actually both of you, like what brought each of you there? What was the decision that it was like, I'm going to go to Sikkim, I'm going to go attend school over there. And like, how did you guys meet?
So in terms of the choice of the university, in Sikkim, Manipal was probably one of the choices for me because the brand name Manipal, and obviously it's one of the premier schools in India, right? So yeah, so during the process, I didn't know her. It was just a natural process of selection, the right university, the right fit for me, and Manipal was obviously one of the top choices. So I just chose it and applied it, and I got selected. We actually met, I think, the first day. So on the canteen, right?
Yeah.
And I'm bad with stories, guys.
I still remember. So we were there, and there were like a group of friends. I think we are also from the same hometown. We are from Kolkata, West Bengal. So, and that was another reason that we chose Sikkim, Manipal, because, parents wanted us to stay close by, and then we can be home over a weekend whenever we wanted to. So we went to a good group of close friends. I remember him. It was in the cafeteria. We were having our evening snacks, and the moment he was introduced to me by another common friend, he had this, he was eating a samosa, right? So he's like,
I get it, Krish. Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off, but I love samosas, so we're good friends now.
He just took a bite, and he's like, and then somebody introduced, and he was trying to chew that, and then he didn't know what to do, and it's like, oh hi, that was weird, but I still remember that moment. I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking weird guy, but that
remember that one.
Yeah, I didn't care at that point. I was just interested in my samosa. I didn't know. Go away! I'm eating my samosa. Leave me alone.
On that note, a virtual high five, because when I'm eating my samosa too, don't disturb me. What was that conversation like when you guys met?
I think that was just introduction. Really, I never. So some of the common friends introduced us, and then we were in the same stream. Actually, we both started IT, information technology engineering. So we were in the same class. There was only one class, and then we started having small conversations on the way, and then we started having those conversations, and I think we took our conversation outside the campus, so that we could spend more time with each other. I remember we used to go to a post office, right? We would go there because the post office is closed, and so we can just get to know each other. So we were just going to have like conversations, getting to know each other. We are from a very different kind of background, so that was really helpful, knowing each other.
Yeah, it started with friendship, and it was not like a lovers first sight kind of thing.
Right.
So it started with friendship. We started knowing each other, and then it turned into like a couple thing.
No, of course. I mean, वो तो खाली movies में देखते हैं, पहली नजर में पहला प्यार.
I'm always surprised, but that's me. Like when people say love at first sight, I understand the sentiment and everything about it, but I am surprised. I'm not the person.
Yeah. No, I still remember like when we met in Manipal, fall 2009. A couple of times we hung out with friends.
Yeah.
There was at a club, a couple of restaurants, and then we were all hanging out in like downtown Manipal. Yeah. They call it Tiger Circle. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, great minds think alike, right? So all the friends were hanging out, and I think they decided to kind of do their own thing. And this was the first time me and her kind of were alone, and they went and did their own thing. And one of us got the idea of going to Baskin Robbins.
Yeah, for some ice cream.
Yeah.
And that was the first time we actually got alone time to just talk and get to know each other. And then before that, at the restaurant, I think it was the first time we actually got a chance to meet each other was at a restaurant. All of our friends, we went as a class because it was like the first dinner that we all had together, because it was the first time we were all in class together, and we were all international students in Kasturba. So we all went to the restaurant, and my seat was empty next to me. And so I wasn't sure who was going to sit there. So I was talking to a few friends, and then he came and sat next to me, and I was like, uh-oh, I got nervous all of a sudden. And so I looked at him, and the first thing that came out of my mind was, are you a football player? And because of his broad shoulders, I thought he was a football player.
No, just kidding.
And then handsomeness.
Hey, thank you, Krish. Thank you.
And then after that, we started at Baskin Robbins. We started talking, getting to know each other.
Yeah.
And then I think we walked back because we both stayed in our own hostels. So he walked me back to the hostel. And then after that, we would meet in between classes. There was that tree house where we used to have sandwiches, the egg sandwiches.
Yeah.
So we used to always eat, sandwiches over there and talk and hang out. And we mostly hung out with all of our friends. And once in a while, we would get time on our own to kind of like talk and just hang out. But most of the times, it was with groups of friends.
Yeah. If someone ever asked me, like, how do you feel about Baskin Robbins? I was like, Baskin Robbins has a special place in my heart because udhar se shuruaat hui thi. So, but yeah.
So now that we know a lot about the couples, let's go ahead and start our question and answer round. So this will be a lot of fun. We're just going to ask some really fun, unique questions. Some of the questions will be, guessing about each other. Some questions will be about you guys as a couple. So you want to start with the first question?
Yeah, definitely. So this question is for Sandy. Ladies first, right? So if you had one day left to live, what do you think you would do?
I think I would like to spend it on the side of a beach, walking together or doing a hike or some kind of activity. Yeah.
That's a great answer. And the fact that you incorporated Krish, it's like, if someone asks you, like, what if you have one day left to live, what would you do? It's like the first thing that pops in your mind is, I think I want to spend one last day with Krish. So, no, that's great. I love that answer.
So the next question is going to be for Krish. So, Krish, what is, let's see.
Don't give me a tough one.
That's why I'm thinking, I'm like, what's the toughest one I can think of? Yeah. What is Sandy's favorite restaurant?
Well, it changes, to be honest with you, right? So there's no one restaurant that she will eat forever. So right now, I think she loves biryani. So just a disclaimer there. So right now, I think the favorite biryani spot for us is Rajbhog. It's a restaurant they recently opened in the Pittsburgh region, and I think that's our current favorite place to eat from.
Sure. Biryani sounds so good right now.
Yeah.
It's making my mouth water. I love anything with rice. I'm a huge fan of rice. So I have to have rice at least a couple times a day, which is not as good as it should be, but it's so yummy. Biryani
It's a lot of carbs right there.
Yeah, it is. That's okay.
Wait, so the restaurant's name, what was it again?
Rajbhog.
I think they have franchises in New York or New Jersey.
Yeah, I think the original branch is from New Jersey or New York, somewhere there, and they have a franchisee here.
Yeah.
Okay, so is it just a couple locations, or is it like spread out throughout the entire country?
I don't
Maybe
know.
in the Northeast area,
Yeah,
I would think, yeah.
I would. My guess would be New Jersey, New York, and then Pittsburgh, but that's my best guess.
Okay, so like biryani, Sandy, like what, like chicken biryani, like what type of biryani?
Anything really. Chicken is my favorite, but lamb, goat, anything. At one point, we even joked about naming our third kid biryani. Like we were discussing about the name.
That's awesome.
It's so awesome.
No, even they know mommy loves biryani. I can even eat biryani leftovers for breakfast. Yeah.
It is so good. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Biryani can just go everywhere all the time. My two favorite are probably
a 3 a.m. snack.
Yeah. My two favorite are probably paneer biryani and then the veg biryani.
Yeah.
Those are so I can eat that all day, every day.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
A restaurant that you like?
Yeah, there's actually one Paradise Biryani.
Really good.
Yeah, they make really good biryani there.
Oh, I have to tell you this. Definitely about Paradise Biryani. So we are so crazy about Paradise Biryani. Wherever we go, like Ohio or anywhere else, we go and pack. Like they have a family pack, right? So we do that and carry it back. And then we eat it I think we make half of it and then freeze the other half. And we eat it over a week, in bits and pieces.
Oh,
man. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
There's one other place that does a really good biryani here. I can't remember of that one.
So Paradise Biryani you mentioned already. I guess maybe like Amarbati.
No, there's another biryani place here. I forgot what it's called.
That's the great part about Nashville.
Yeah.
There's so many good Indian restaurants. Have you guys ever been to Nashville?
No.
No. Coming from the Bay Area, उधर इतनी बड़ी देसी community है और इतने सारे restaurants है. But even Nashville में काफी जगह खाने के लिए.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good Indian restaurants around here.
So have you guys heard of the celebrity Indian chef Manish Chauhan?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like maybe you've seen the Chopped TV show or something.
Yeah, from the Chopped.
Yeah.
Yep.
So so she has like a couple of really good Indian restaurants in Nashville. I think like her primary one that she started was Chauhan Ale and Masala House.
Yeah.
And then once she recently started, I think like a couple of years ago, Chaatable, which is like chaat a bowl, and so it's like it's based off of like Indian street food, right? So chaat being like the primary kind of the thing, but all of her dishes are just really exotic. Obviously, being Manish Chauhan, like she's gonna be like people are gonna be highly critical of what her menu is like because it is Manish Chauhan.
Yeah.
So like all of her dishes, have a certain twist to it, and for Thanksgiving, was it Chaatable or Chauhan?
It was
Chauhan.
I think we did Chauhan for Thanksgiving, and what she does is she does a blend like in between like Indian and American fusion. So she used like all of the Thanksgiving typical dishes, but made them into Indian. I mean, it was amazing. I'll have to message you like the menu and everything. It was really, really good. But she does a phenomenal job in like the way she mixes things around. So she has 3 restaurants here. So it's always fun exploring different foods. I mean, if you can't tell already, we're both really big foodies, so we like to try. I know. You too.
Rick makes awesome biryani though. He's an awesome.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? Okay, so I'm gonna invite myself over.
Oh my God. He comes up with different kind of dishes, especially during the weekend, like Friday evening. He makes appetizers, and some days he's like, okay, I'm making something weird, and he doesn't have a name for it. No, and neither can he tell you the recipe, but you can see the recipe.
That's amazing.
Come out after a few drinks, right? You can't get this without any drinks.
Exactly.
No, of course not. Or me to Punjabi, it's like I want a little whiskey here and there, a little crown or something, of course. Uske baad to sab kuch acha hai, biryani, kuch bhi, samosa. But yeah.
So then, Shelly, a question for you: What is the most favorite dish that Krish has made for you? That's like not typical. It's something that he's created. What's your favorite one?
Creative. I mean, he makes so many stuff. I'm trying to think. Oh, I think that kebab that he made, the Haryali kind of kebab, but it had your own twist. Yeah. Yeah, I think that was like awesome. Chicken Haryali kebab. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Nice. No, that's great. I mean, like Krish, and I'm sure Sandy as well. I mean, like you guys like to cook and, experiment with new things. And I think like Sandy alluded to like about a minute or 2 ago where it's like, Krish is just like, it's good. I don't know what I'm going to call it. I don't know what's going to go in it, but just trust me on this. It's going to come out good though.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We made the Sikro, I mean, honestly, like she's so good. I mean, like, honestly, if I had to say, like maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, it was a little, I guess, like in terms of her versatility, in terms of cooking, wasn't really there. But her chole is really good. Her rajma is incredible. I tell her all the time. I've gone to restaurants and I was like, "Tere chole better, tere rajma, koi bhi restaurant se better." So and what else? What else do you like to cook?
Any rice dishes. I try to make biryani. It hasn't gotten there just yet, and I try to make like pulao and things like that. Some of the easier rice dishes, but I'd like to experiment a little bit more on the rice dishes.
Nice.
But yeah, so you know what? So I'm gonna bring in a little friction over here between all of this kind of lovey-dovey stuff. So this question is gonna be for Sandy. So if you had to say something, like, what do you like the least about Krish?
Oh, there will be a list.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a list in my head, but on the top of the list, he's snoring at night.
Heavy snoring.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So how do you so if the snoring gets so heavy and it's like 2 a.m. and you're like, and it was like Sandy, I was like, man, I was like, I got to wake up for work at 7 a.m. I need to get to sleep. How do you fix that problem? Or do you just let the snoring go on?
It's not snoring. And then I'm yeah, that's it. And then it goes back to you again, snoring. But probably I'm asleep by that time. So yeah.
So as long as you're asleep and you're in deep sleep, if he starts snoring, then it's okay. It's just in the beginning when you're trying to sleep and he's snoring, that's when it gets tough.
Yeah.
Totally. A funny story comes to my mind. So my brother's like 5 years older than me, and back when we were kids, our beds were right next to each other in the same room, and he started snoring at a young age. So he got that talent very early on. I remember, I swear it would be like 2, 3 a.m. or something, and I hear him snoring. And I'm someone who likes to keep a water bottle next to me because I get like dehydrated. and I wake up at 2 a.m. I want to have the water right next to me. And at like 2 a.m. I couldn't sleep, and he's like snoring right next to me. And I finished up my water bottle real quick, and it was an empty bottle, just so everyone knows that. And I was like, I can't take this anymore. And I took the empty bottle and threw it kind of like close to his bed, close to the head a little bit. But I was careful. It was my brother, right? I can't hurt him. But I threw it close to him. And he woke up a little bit, and I just quickly went back to sleep, like nothing happened. And I was like, all right, this works. I'm gonna start using this strategy. But yeah, snoring can be a problem. I guess I've kind of developed that skill a little bit too.
Yeah, he started in the beginning. He didn't snore very much, but now it's like progressively getting worse. Like as the months go by, he snores more and more. I don't know if it's because he's just even more tired or if it's something else. I'm not sure.
तो मेरे नजरिए से देखो तो एक talent है और उभर के आ रहा है, you know, तो वक्त के साथ.
Practice ho ke ubhar raha hai.
Sorry, what's that, Krish?
It's a sign of peace and prosperity.
Exactly. Yeah, great minds think alike, right? I couldn't have said it better. But yeah, go ahead.
So what would be so this Rajesh, I'll ask you this question. What is the thing that sorry, Krish, I'll ask you this question. What is your favorite thing about Sandy?
Thinking, there are a lot. Yeah, I do have a list, but I think if I have to pick one, I really appreciate her dedication and motivation towards the thing she chooses, right? So right now, she's into health and fitness, and when she picks whatever she likes to, she makes sure she does it, and she motivates others as well. So I think that's a very good quality that I really appreciate of her.
I made you work out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we work out together, so.
That's something that we try to do, but I'm horrible at it. I'm a horrible gym partner. I'm too lazy. I'd rather eat rice and sit on the sofa.
Yeah, I mean, like working out is kind of like one of those things. It's like I think it's kind of like studies have been proven, right? I mean, like if you're on a treadmill and you know there's someone next to you on a treadmill and you see them running, you get motivated. You know, sometimes some people need that kind of like extrinsic motivation, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and it freshens up your mind too. I mean, there's so much that goes on, you know, on a daily basis with work and with family and with just the daily lives and routines. It's nice to kind of just get away and kind of work it out and, you know, either run or do the treadmill or whatever, you know, yoga or meditation, whatever it is, just to kind of clear your mind and body. So that's definitely something maybe I should make as my New Year's resolution. I know we're already close to February, but never too late.
Yeah. But yeah, so this I want to actually ask this next question to Sandy. You know, if you like Hindi movies, right?
Yeah.
Okay, for sure. So if you had to pick, what would you say is like your favorite actor or actress?
I have like periods of crushes, and so I don't stick to one actor. But from my childhood, favorite has been Amir Khan. So when I was born at that time, I think not born, but you know, I like a toddler or some, maybe in elementary school. His movie, what's that called?
Kayamat Se Kayamat.
Kayamat Se Kayamat. He was like the chocolate hero, you know, and then here I am, like in my late 30s. He's still doing movies, and he has really grown into a gorgeous person, and he's still awesome, right? Yeah. So I like. He has been my constant crush in the back, but I have like periods of time when I have a crush on somebody else.
Yeah.
Amir Khan is really awesome.
और कयामत से कयामत तक वो जूही चावला के साथ थी ना?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Amir Khan just makes such amazing like hatke films. They're so different. His stories are always unique, and it just brings a whole different element into the Bollywood film industry. You know, we always have like the historic love stories and the historic heartbreak movies, and you know, like what's going on in the politics or what's going on in society, those types of movies. But he always comes up with like the most iconic stories and just a whole different perspective. I mean, PK was crazy. I mean, it was completely different. Like you don't really see those types. So
Tare Zameen Par.
Tare Zameen Par, Three Idiots.
Right, Rang De Basanti.
That was great as well. I mean, just one after the other. I mean, even though he does very few films, maybe one per year, or maybe once every couple years, but every time he comes out with something, it's it's gonna be like a super hit or it's gonna be a really, really good movie.
Yeah, Gajni was probably one of my favorites.
Really good.
Yeah.
So good.
So I'm gonna ask this question to Sandy. What's your favorite outdoor activity?
Running.
Running.
Down. Yeah, running. Wherever we go, we actually sometimes we do go for a walk around the neighborhood, or if we are going somewhere out. We did a lot of like hikes, small kid-friendly hikes during summer. But if we if I am alone, then I am the person who's running crazy around the world.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that's good.
My goal was for 2020. Original goal before the pandemic hit was to run in as many states. So I was planning my running route all over the northeast part, but pandemic hit, so I could not do much.
Yeah. You want to say something about it?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like because of the pandemic, and like Sandy alluded to this, I feel like it's interrupted a lot of people's lives, and I guess it only became public like February or something, but a lot of people say it began like December time or something, and it's been almost a year, and I'm one of those people every Friday with my parents I used to go no se bara, first day, first show, I would go to the theater, and the last time we went to a movie in the theater was like before February 2020. So it's been almost a year. So
so now we've been we've collected DVDs throughout the year. So over the years actually we've collected hundreds of DVDs, and I think collectively between my parents' house, our house, and probably your parents' house, we probably have over like 2,000 DVDs. They're mix of like Hindi movies. Majority of them are Hindi. At least my collection is 99% Hindi, and then with your collection it's more like a good mix of Hindi and American movies. So right now we've just been rotating through our DVDs and just every night picking one or watching something that's on DVR since we can't go to the theater. So
और कोई option ही नहीं है ना, घर को ही theater बना लिया हमने.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you look at a lot of theaters right now, there used to be a big one in Nashville, Regal Hollywood Stadium, and like 20 screens, and it's temporarily shut down right now.
Yep.
So that's kind of what the pandemic has done. So I guess I'm Sabi, both of you guys, us, the whole world.
Yeah.
वही मौके का इंतजार है ये pandemic कब खत्म होगी.
Yeah. And maybe we can go back to our normalcy, and then Sandy, you can start running again too. That would be so cool to like just watch. I hope you post it on your social media sites and everything, like all the different pictures and just the scenes and stuff like that, because I'm sure that's just amazing, just along the routes, just experiencing those different states and areas.
Yeah, the scenic street is so awesome. That's why I actually run. Like I can't run on the treadmill. Even like today it was 18 degrees Fahrenheit. I went for a run outside because I actually did like a mile on the treadmill, so I'm like warmed up, then I go out because I can't somehow. I enjoy and like watching people, even in the neighborhood. It was just in the neighborhood, but I watch other people doing and saying hi. Now that you have to maintain social distancing, it's good to see so many people, and even through maintaining while maintaining social distancing and everything. So it's different.
Yeah, I guess I completely understand. If you think about it, it's you're in a treadmill, you're kind of cooked up inside, but it's a win-win situation. You find like a nice trail outside, and not only are you running and exercising, which is good for you, but you get kind of the beauty of the outdoors as well.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win situation.
Season, right? Christmas, Halloween, you get to see so many stuff like decorations. I run in the neighborhood, so I'm saying each of the houses, they put up so many decorations, lights. It's amazing, really.
Yeah. No, of course. And just like a couple months ago, so like in the Nashville area, there's a couple really good, I guess we can call it, like state parks. Mm-hmm. There's a Edwin Warner Park and a Percy Warner Park. So, they have incredible trails and, the outdoor beauty. And the best part about it, not only are we getting exercise, but our dog, Hasina, so she gets it as well. So it's a win-win for all of us.
Except she's a small little dog. She's about no more than 8 pounds. So after about like 15 minutes of like walking up the trail or like going down, she looks back and she's like, no more. I need to be picked up. So then the rest of the trail is like you holding her and carrying her. So it's almost like a workout on its own.
And when she says you holding her, I'm holding her.
Yeah.
I'm holding her. So maybe double exercise at the end. So, but so kind of on a little more serious note, this kind of question would be, हर एक जोड़ी होती है, तो एक मुश्किल दौर से गुजरती है, and they go through, different problems, twists and turns, ups and downs, and as a couple, you find a unique way to kind of go about it. So obviously, we're on camera, so there's, certain things that you can share. And this question is for either one of you. So whoever wants to answer, both of you can answer. What do you think was kind of one of the, I guess, like biggest obstacles, one of the biggest problems that you went through? And how do you think you went about like addressing it? How did you go about solving it as a couple?
I'll let you take it.
There were a lot of them, as you said, right? So I think one of the biggest challenges was long distancing, right, with the kids. And he was in Pennsylvania, I was in Arizona with the kids, and so it was a lot challenging emotionally. Especially our oldest she still is. She's a daddy's daughter, so she would just stick to him all the time when he was there. And then when he moved here, every time she'd like write a letter or write one sentence or count like how many days till daddy comes back. That was a really challenging stuff. And we planned it out in that way, right? So we were aware of what's coming on our way. So that helped, I think. But obviously, the emotional part is involved. So there weren't really, or everything wasn't really smooth all the time. But he would visit every 3-4 months, I think. And you were here like for 2 years. We would do video calls. We would talk like if there's a problem or if anything that I need to do with the girls. So we talked over phone, trying to figure out a solution for things. Do you want to add anything?
No, I think you covered it pretty much well. And it was the emotional, we were mentally prepared. So that was a setup which allowed us to talk things through. Yeah. But again, we did not anticipate the amount of emotional plus physical stress that it gets. So I was here, as she was saying, I was doing her grad, University of Pittsburgh, and she was there back in Arizona with the kids. So obviously I had the emotional part, but I think she also had the emotional plus taking care of the kids, so the physical aspect of it. So I think that the advice is talk it through. Obviously there'll be frictions and then you'll have moments where you burst out, but then calm down, talk it through, and make sure you're taking the next right step.
Yeah, definitely. And both of you guys have kind of touched upon this, and I guess there should be that open communication, and especially when it's long distance, you don't have that physical proximity, and sometimes with physical proximity, a hug could be enough to solve a problem. You look at each other's eyes, that could be enough to solve a problem. Any nonverbal cues. But like we've done long distance, and I lived in California for some time, and you lived in Florida. And I mean, we had a lot of difficult times, and there's so many times it's frustrating, right? And it's like, I wish you were in front of me.
Yeah, because a lot of the communication can get lost in transition, right? So like if you text something, the way the person will interpret that text will be different. If you call and say something, then depending on the environment that the other person who's on the other side of the phone, whatever environment they're in, their mood may not be the same as yours, or their thought process may not be the same, or you might be thinking about something else and they might be in a whole different, path. And so it just makes it really difficult to kind of share that communication, especially when you're in long distance. So, I mean, we can definitely relate to that. It's like you said, it takes a lot of calming down and, thinking it through and saying, okay, what is that person going through? What is their situation like? What could be around them that makes them feel a certain way? What did I say? How did I say it? Could I have said it differently? Could I have said it, softer or better? Could I use different words? I mean, we still go through that on a daily basis. I mean, even though we're face to face, there's always times where I think that what I'm saying comes out in a certain way, but the way he receives it may seem like, oh, it's very, like this, or it's like that. And I'm like, I didn't even mean it like that. Like, my tone wasn't like that, was it? And he goes, no, actually the tone was. And I'm like, oh, okay, note to self.
Yeah.
And as long as you're married, that thing will go on.
Yeah. No, of course. I think one of the biggest keys I've learned is empathy. And a lot of times, someone feels like, man, I don't think you understand how I feel. And it's like I think so many times through the years we struggled with that, and I failed to empathize with her. And I was like, maybe I'm not understanding how Kunjita feels. Maybe I'm not understanding what she's going through as a woman. And I'm thinking of this problem as a man. And I think there needs to be kind of full empathy. Kunjita as a woman, Kunjita as a person, Kunjita's values, principles, and beliefs, and how she attacks a certain problem and issue. And I can't apply my thinking. I can't apply my principles and beliefs. I gotta put myself in her shoes. And I think that's helped me. And
I think that goes both ways. I mean, I have to do the same thing, because there's things where I like to do things in a certain way, and I'm like, wait, that's me. That's not Rishi. He's a different person. He comes from, he likes things done a different way. So then we always have to figure out, okay, what's the best balance? But then we have to be careful. Okay, are we like strategizing too much? Are we trying to get everything to be equal? Like, it's always something.
No, of course. You have to have an open heart. No, definitely. So I would make it a little bit lighter right now. So this question is for Sandy. I guess not addicted, but like what phone apps do you think that are on your phone that you're just constantly going through and you're always checking? What apps are you like obsessed with?
Oh, okay. I think the email app, really. That's boring, but sure. And Facebook too. Because through Facebook, I am connected through all my relatives and, distant relatives, distant cousins, and my friends who I have found that, I don't know, like 15, 20 years later. So that I love seeing their family or what they're doing, and everybody, I love keeping up with people. And I'm a very people person. Like, once I start talking, I'll keep talking and talking. As you can understand, I'm the talker of the family. But I love knowing about people and their accomplishments. If they need anything, I reach out to them. Like, you need any kind of social support or any kind of thing. So I love Facebook too, for all those reasons. So I would say Facebook too.
Yeah, I mean, like, Facebook is such a good way to stay connected. And I was, I remember back in 2005, I created a Facebook account only because my friend told me about it. And Facebook started right around that 2005 time. And she was like, hey, Rishi, why don't you create an account? And I was like, what's Facebook? And I went and created an account. And after a few years, I deleted it. And I was just off of social media. And the last, few years, the only social media I had was like LinkedIn, just to kind of stay connected with the professional community. And just like 2 or 3 days ago, I opened up a Facebook account, and I was like, it feels good to be back. I feel, in today's world, it's, social media obviously can be used in bad ways as well, but it's if used in a good way, you can stay connected with so many people. And I was talking to one of my friends, and he was saying, I have so many family members that are in India, and how I stay connected with them is through Facebook. So. Yeah, but yeah, this, for Krish as well, what apps do you have on your phone that you're constantly kind of looking at?
I'm a very boring person, so
I doubt that.
So just to a side note, like from a Facebook perspective, I probably only check it twice a day, like morning, and then night before I go to bed. So most of the time, if I'm on my phone, either I'm checking my work email or my personal email. And then if I have some spare time just to do something, I basically browse anything and whatever you have. So I read news articles depending on my mood. So most of the time I'm reading articles. If I'm not reading articles, I'm like, I want to watch something. I just open YouTube and just start browsing different videos. So I don't have anything specific, but if I have to pick one, it's basically work emails and personal emails.
No, of course.
So what would be your favorite band?
Band, like a music band?
Mm-hmm.
And this will date me. it will probably give you my age. But I think I said, like, if I give you the answer, it will probably tell you how old I am.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
But I think I used to love a band called so Boyzone was one of my favorites growing up, and then had the Guns N' Roses. So I, again, from a musical perspective, I appreciate the whole spectrum, all the way from like a softer music to hard metal kind of music, and again, it depends on what kind of mood I'm in. So I have different genres, different bands. So Boyzone would be on the softer side, and the Guns N' Roses would be more on the metal side.
No, but that's great. I mean, you're exposing yourself to different genres of music, and I feel like that it brings a lot of versatility to you as a person. But have you ever had a chance to see so Guns N' Roses? Like, what time period was this? No, it's okay. I mean, come on, we're family here. You can go ahead and.
I actually listen to Guns N' Roses almost every morning right before work, just to get me pumped up and make it ready for me to be able to get into the work zone.
No, I guess the main reason I was asking was because I'm always interested. When someone listens to a certain artist or a band, have they seen them in person? So
I don't recall the history of Guns N' Roses, but I was introduced to Guns N' Roses in probably the 80s. When I went when I went to undergrad, and just before that, so it would be like 2000 area, and the band is obviously prior to that. But I was introduced then, so I don't know. I don't have the answer to your question of the history of the band, but that was my introduction to the band during that time period.
So I mean, like, that's great. I mean, you're such a kind of a music enthusiast. If you had to pick, Krish, what do you think? Was your favorite kind of live show, and what artist was it? What band was it?
So we recently went to Backstreet Boys show here in Pittsburgh. So I think right now top of the charts for us.
Oh my God, that was awesome!
It was like reliving the old memories. So Backstreet Boys, I just blanked out, but that's another band that we both love. Yeah. So we went to that one. What was that? November?
2019. Just before the pandemic hit. Yeah. So it was like It's
Yeah. It was That's really cool. So where did you see them, Backstreet Boys?
So they came to Pittsburgh. So that's where. Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, I remember Backstreet Boys. I mean, I love that band. They're such great performers. I never really got a chance to see them live, but I think my favorite band or music concert that I've been to is probably Madonna. Yeah. When Rishi and I went to San Juan, Puerto Rico, and we actually got a chance to watch Madonna perform live. I mean, it was incredible. She is such an amazing performer, and she just lights up the stage. I mean, the moment she walks in there, it's just a whole different environment. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's electric, and
it is.
And it's like I mean, and she's been around for like 20 plus years, right? Yeah. So long. And we went probably like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, I think so.
And so even someone who's so kind of far into their career still is able to bring in like 20,000 plus people in San Juan, Puerto Rico, one of the biggest arenas that they have over there. And it's crazy. It says something about her, right? I mean, so late in your career, I'm able to bring in 20,000 plus people, and I'm still able to make that atmosphere, electric. Yeah.
And just like Backstreet Boys, I mean, she did not look like she had aged at all. I mean, even the Backstreet Boys look so similar to what they did back in the day when they were first coming up. And I mean, it's incredible how they maintain themselves, and the performance, the energy, and just being able to come back and do a powerful performance on stage after so many years, I think is a talent just on its own. That's incredible.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think with the the pandemic, I think that's one of the things I miss the most in terms of going to a live show. And I think about some of the great live performances I've seen. We saw Rahat Fateh Ali Khan in Long Island, New York. Seen Atif Aslam and Sunidhi Chauhan together. It's Sonu Nigam. I don't know if Krish is familiar with. Have you heard of Portishead?
No, I'm not.
So Portishead I saw in Berkeley, California, and I'm just I guess I'm waiting for the pandemic to kind of subside, so I can go back to a live show, because it's you can listen to it. Go ahead.
No, I said yes. I agree with you.
Yeah, no, because it's like, I'm a big sports guy as well, It's like I can watch, the Lakers play on TV, or, like whether it's a performer, Rahat Fateh Ali Khan or something, I can listen to the audio, I can watch them on TV. But, there's that different type of, like feeling that you get, electricity that you feel when you're live over there and they're performing live in front of you, whether it's, a sports figure or it's a musical artist. I mean, the feeling altogether, it's irreplaceable.
It is.
So, yeah.
So this question is actually for both of you. Either both of you guys can answer or one. Do you guys like to plan your vacations or just go on vacations and do things spontaneously?
Plan.
Planner.
Yeah, I'm a planner too. I wish I could be spontaneous. There's some things I like to have spontaneous, but I'm a planner as well. I like to plan things.
Yeah.
Yes. That's too much planning for her.
Yeah.
A vacation where I'll go in there and I do not know my day, and I'll wake up, and then based on my mood, I'll do the next thing.
No, so kind of like a fun aspect to it, like Sandy, like so since you're the planner, like what was between Krish and you guys, what was kind of like the most extensive planning involved vacation that you ever planned?
Last year, or not last year, the year before last, 2019 summer. So we do a kind of beach vacation every summer, right? So 2019 we went to Hawaii. So yeah, and that was the first time we did with all the three girls, because I think my youngest was like 2-year-old at the time. She turned 2 just before that. So we went there, and it was like a 5-day or 6-day, and I had to plan all my day, like each day exactly, like how I want to do it. So what I would do is I would sometimes outsource him the planning for a day. Like second day you plan. So so it gives him some some opportunity to be flexible, right?
Sure. I'll take that.
Sure. It's like whatever you say.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's great. This was like back in this was like 5-6 years ago at least. This was before I moved to Nashville, and I was back home with my parents and my older brother, and my dad and my brother were the main planners, and my mom and we were kind of laying back a little bit. So it was a big kind of Europe vacation. It was like a 2-week vacation, and we saw some of the greatest cities in the world that people consider. Paris, Florence, Milan, Zurich, London, Rome. I mean, you name it, right? And we jam-packed it. Venice, all in 2 weeks. And my dad and my brother, they had like an Excel sheet pulled up, and they had like a Word document that had like 10 pages, and like things were highlighted. So Sandy, okay, that's you, okay.
See, I don't go to that extent, but I like to know what I'm gonna do each day, so then I know what I'm gonna wear. Because if I don't know where we're gonna go, then I have no idea what to pack. So that's my biggest struggle, is I need to have at least some sort of structure or planning around it, so then I know. But then I always end up packing like 10 extra clothes in case my mood doesn't like match what I want to wear. So we always travel. I think my issue is I always travel with more luggage than anything else. And then most of that luggage comes back without me even wearing it, because it's just extra clothes.
Yeah. No, but I do have to say though, I want to compliment like Sandy. I want to compliment, my dad and my brother and those type of people that plan that stuff. Because when we got to Europe and we're going through, Florence, Milan, and all these places, and those Eurorail trains, those tickets are already booked. We don't have to wait at the station or anything, because my dad and my brother took the time, a month beforehand, buy that ticket. Buy the tickets from like Paris to London or something like that, or wherever it's going. That's already booked. We're in Switzerland. We're gonna do this. Big like lift. Going upwards. Those tickets are already there. This restaurant's already booked. And so someone like Sandy, someone like my dad and my brother, and so on in every family. That person makes it easier on someone like me, who doesn't really enjoy the planning. Let's go sirf khali mazai karna hai, acha khana khana hai, or khali mauj masti karni hai. But someone like me really appreciates someone like Sandy. Where it's like, thank you for taking the time to do that, because you kind of took some of the headache away while we were on vacation. So,
You sound people enjoy, some people work. So they are the workers, we are the enjoyers.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, virtually verified for that one. Yeah. No, I mean, even with Kunjita, like, she's a big planner, and she's got those Excel sheets or like a Microsoft Word document
or PowerPoint
or some PowerPoint. She's made that call to reserve something because it takes some of the kind of the hectic feeling away when you're having to wait at a station or something.
Yeah, it just takes away from the time that you can actually be enjoying the place, and instead of standing in line for 45 minutes waiting for a ticket, or you don't even get the ticket because now it's sold out. Now you have to figure out, okay, when's the next day we can go?
Yeah, no, definitely. So this question is actually next question is for the both of you guys. So I want to hear what you guys have to say. Obviously, like we said, pandemic की वजह से ऐसे लगता है सब लोगों की जिंदगी थोड़ी मतलब थम गई है, थोड़ी रुक गई है, and we're kind of all waiting to kind of bring it back up and zoro shor se. So if you had to say, and both of you guys can go, like what's one thing, like what's like a vacation or something that you're planning you're not able to do right now? What's one thing you're not able to do right now, the both of you or as a family together, where it's like, I can't wait till all of this is over so we can go out and do it?
I think at least we would like to go to a restaurant, sit in a restaurant and eat.
Yeah.
So obviously we are not planning a vacation where there's a lot of public kind of crowd or something. So yeah, eventually there will be we would like to have a vacation where we can go out to public places and enjoy as we used to in the world that we used to live in. So yeah, I mean, I think at the minimum we would like to go to a restaurant, have a nice dinner, and come back without worrying what I touched.
Yeah.
No, definitely. I mean,
agree.
No,
I completely agree. I mean, that's probably the biggest thing between going to the theaters and going to the restaurants. I think those are two of my biggest things that I miss a lot. It's something that you can just drive and go do and feel like, oh, we did something. It was fun. It was relaxing. So that's definitely something that I miss. And especially being foodies, I mean, trying out new restaurants, there's always something new that opens up and, new dishes that people cook up. So it's always nice to try that out and experience that. But I definitely can't wait for that either.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess we're all four of us on the panel over here on the same page, since the pandemic started. I'm sure, like, us, you guys are the same. You guys probably, like, pick up food and maybe bring it home. Yeah. But, I mean, you can't replace the feeling of, Kunjita, she's going to dress up, she's going to put on her makeup, and she's going to look incredible. And, I'm going to dress my best, or I'm going to try to look almost as good. And, we're going to go to a nice fine dining restaurant in downtown. And you look forward to that opportunity. You're dressed your best, you look the best, and you feel good. And you're in this incredibly, incredible setting, fine dining restaurant. There's romance in the air. So I think we can all agree, it's like, I can't wait to have that feeling again.
Yeah.
So, no, definitely. No, but I've had a lot of fun. मुझे तो बहुत मजा आया. आप लोगों के साथ हमने अच्छी बातचीत की. And we've learned a lot more about your journey and some of your ups and downs, your twists and turns. And I say to everyone, everyone's journey is different. Like my story was different before I met Kunjita in 2009. Hers is different. And 2009 we met. And 11 years later, everything that's transpired between then and now. Our stories automatically and objectively, it's going to be different from any other couple. And we've heard your story, and it's incredible. And I still can't get over the fact that you guys met at Manipal University in Sikkim, and we met at Manipal University in Kasturba, in Karnataka. So have you guys, before we kind of close out this show, and I know Kunjita wanted to mention a couple of things. Have you guys ever had the opportunity to go back to Sikkim?
No, not really. Yeah.
We have planned for it. Like last year, actually, we were planning to go to India and go somewhere nearby, but we could not have the pandemic, really. Yeah. So yes, once we get the opportunity, we would like to take the girls there and tell them where it all started.
Where it all started.
Absolutely.
इधर से शुरुआत हुई थी. इधर से पटाखे थे. Yeah, इधर ही मैं समोसा खाता था इधर. But yeah, no, I mean, I would love to go back to Manipal at some point and go back to Tiger Circle.
Yeah, and just walk around, go back to Baskin Robbins.
Go back to Baskin Robbins. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but you know, I mean, you know, we've had a lot of fun. मुझे तो बहुत मजा आया.
It was a lot of fun just to get to know you guys. But before we do leave, what is the one unique thing about your couple and about you guys as a couple that you'd like to share with our viewers? Because we will be having our voting sessions that will open up starting February 11th. And they'll be on until February 13th, where all the viewers would be able to vote for their favorite couple. So what would you like to share with them before we end the show?
Sure. So I strongly believe that a relationship between a couple, the love is the foundation for the love is friendship. I married my best friend. And I think we grew up together, right? Starting from being teenagers to we are right now in our late 30s. We obviously had ups and downs like every couple. And we actually utilized all those ups and downs or whatever, fight we had to get to know each other better, actually to understand each other's strengths and weaknesses. And we worked off that. We are very opposite in terms of nature, but opposites attract, right? We complement each other. I think we are a great team when it comes to parenting. If he's cooking, I am taking care of the kids and vice versa. That's it. I think as a couple, our goal is to grow older together. As we grow old, I think we keep saying this all the time, that we plan to, when we are old, we want to sit in the patio and drink tea or coffee together. That's our goal, couple goals, right?
Yeah.
You want to add anything?
No, I think you summed it pretty well. The motto is grow old together and understand each other. Obviously there'll be bumps in the road, and that bump always comes. There's no point in their life where as a couple you will not hit a bump.
Yes.
But you just ride through it, keep yourself calm, and then make sure you understand the other person.
Yeah, you learn from that. That's the most important thing, right? You learn from that, so you're not repeating. It's kind of any kind of mistake or anything that you have done.
No, of course, and everything you guys said. I guess there's a mutual consensus over here, and I feel like I feel that I married my best friend, and I never fail to tell people that she's the best human being that I've ever met in my life, and I'm sure you guys would agree with that sentiment. And I've never met someone that cares so deeply about me and understands me and takes the time to understand me. There's so many times in my life, I feel like I had friends that didn't understand me even an ounce, and didn't take the time to understand me, but she does. And when I think about it, I want to go to a Lakers game. Who do I go with? I'm going to go with my wife. I'm going to go see Portishead tonight. I'm going to go with my wife. I'm going to go have dinner tonight. I'm going to go with my wife. I don't think I need a friend there, because that's all the conversation I think I need tonight. I'm going to laugh with that person. I'm going to cry with that person. And that's the person that I'm going to be the most open with. And that person's not going to judge me. So many times in our lives, it could be a family member or it could be a friend, and you feel that they judge you. But Sandy's sitting next to Krish, I was like, Krish is never going to judge me. Krish feels the same, Sandy's never going to judge me. And you feel that certain comfort factor. So that's great. I love it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I can't agree with you guys more. I mean, that's definitely, the strength within your couple, to build that strength, you do need to understand each other. And I think, Sandy, you put it so well. I mean, you said it so beautifully.
Oh, definitely. But we want to thank you guys, and we loved having you guys on the show, and Sandy and Krish, and hearing about your journey, and we have a lot of things in common, and so that's great. And I wanted to tell the audience that if you really like Sandy and you really like Krish, go to mydreamtvusa.com and vote for them, and the voting lines will open on February 11th, and they'll be open through the 13th. And मुझे तो आप लोगों की कहानी बहुत पसंद आई, और
being a part of this show, and it's so awesome to get to know you guys too, and I am surprised we share so much in common.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and you guys were a wonderful host. The conversation was so lively, didn't feel like we were
right
states apart, so thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Definitely,
Thank
definitely,
you so much.
definitely.
And before we wrap up today, there is one additional thing that I would like to share. Just like last week, a rescue that's really close to our hearts is Noah's Ark Society, which is local here to Tennessee, where we really become, and our motto is to be the voice for the voiceless and a home for the homeless, for all of those animals out there that really need help. And so last week I brought to you, everyone, I brought to your guys' attention that Noah's Ark Society this year is really focusing on clearing out the shelters and really focused on bringing out the dogs and the cats and the animals that the shelters have, and kind of spreading them on social media platforms to make sure that they get light on them so they can go home. So I'd like to share that because of all of your guys' help and all of everyone, their hands and everything together, we were actually able to successfully get most, if not, I think we only have 3 or 4 animals that are still left in the shelters that we had assisted with from those posts. So thank you so much to the entire community for coming together and either rescuing or fostering or telling a friend, to rescue or foster these dogs. I mean, they're going to have a great old time, and we're so excited that they're out of the shelter. One additional thing that Noah's Ark Society is focused on this week is a program that they have, which is called Elder Society. It's their senior society program. And so in this program, what we focus on is highlighting the importance of senior pets and making sure that we find them a loving home where they can actually spend the rest of their retirement life in comfort. And so Noah's Ark Society pays for their entire treatment, whatever medications they need, their food, their vet bills, anything that they need, Noah's Ark Society covers. The only part that we are looking for, or that we do in the elder program, is finding that elder pet a home. So if you have a loving home where you want to be able to take on an older pet and, give them the best life that they can through their retirement, then please go to noahsarksociety.org. Check us out on the website, go to their Facebook page. It's Noah's Ark Society. Go to their Instagram page. They'll have a bunch of information on there. We also look for sponsors. So if you're looking to just sponsor an elder pet, then you can help pay for some of their medical and some of their wellness bills. So either which way, thank you so much. We really, really appreciate all of the help that you guys have done in clearing out these shelters. And with that, I really want to appreciate all of our viewers and all of our guests for coming on and for doing this show with us. We are having a blast and we're loving it. And I would also like to thank Mydream TV USA, Mydream Entertainment, Janak Ji and Rashmi ma'am for putting this entire platform together and for giving us this opportunity, because they don't just sell dreams, they actually make them come true. So I really like to appreciate and thank you guys a lot.
No, definitely. Thank you so much, guys. And, I echo that same sentiment. And, we're always thankful for, Rashmi Ji and Janak Ji and, Mydream Entertainment, for, providing us this platform. And, where we're able to speak with couples like, Sandy and Krish and, and learn about their journey. And, sabki journey alag hoti hai sabse. And, to have the courage to come out and share that, story with the rest of the world. And, there's, a couple of questions that I asked, were serious, what was the most difficult obstacle that you've had? And, I love Sandy's answer, and, you had the courage to share that answer. So, that's the stuff that we want to hear from all of our couples. And thank you to you guys. And, thank you to my beautiful wife. And, I hope you guys had fun today, just like we did.
Yep. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, this is Tulsi Kumar, and it gives me immense pride to announce that T-Series Stageworks Academy, in association with Mydream Entertainment, has brought to you a unique platform for all the budding singers in the USA. You all will be able to showcase your talent in front of the Bollywood fraternity. Can't wait to hear all you talented people.